Good morning and welcome to Cheche, the show where opinion counts, live on Citizen TV. I'm your host, Udwa Kamimo. Now, leaders of parties aligned with the governing Jubilee coalition are meeting this morning to finalize their plans for the launch of the Jubilee party. It promises to be a spectacular event, 3 days of glitz, as individual parties dissolve to create a party that will, the sponsors promised, deliver a new dawn in Kenyan politics. What's significant about this merger is that this party and its officials will be the engine of President Uhuru Kenyatta's re-election campaign. But as we all know, there are rumblings of discontent, and one of the malcontents is Nandi Hill's Member of Parliament, Alfred Keter. Staying the course, though, is Onyango Oloo, who has just 1 or 2 days left to serve out his role as Secretary General in TNA because that party is winding up. We also have with us in the Cheche studios our panelists, Mutegi Njao and Charles Odhiambo, both of Royal Media Services. Good morning and welcome to the show. I'll come to you in a minute because I think you need to get some things off your chest. But Mr. Oloo, the last time we met, we were discussing this merger, the specifics, the ironing out the kinks. Now it's just 3 days to the launch. How do you feel?
I would say anxious. We just can't wait for it to happen. As you are no doubt aware, it's something we have planned for quite some time. From as early as last year, December, we pushed it to March. Sometimes we thought it would be done in July, and now coming to pass, definitely we are very anxious. We can't just wait to set it on motion.
Are you anxious because you are going to lose a job?
No, not really.
Or you're getting a job in the new party?
I am signing myself out of my job. As to whether I will get a job, let's wait and see.
Well, earlier you said it was the president's discretion whether you have a job or not.
Yes, when we did our party constitution, when we handed it over, and we did as the National Steering Committee appoint or recommend the president and his deputy to be the party leader and deputy party leader, we also reckoned that we did not have time sufficient enough to do a grassroots election up to the national level. So we gave the party leader and the deputy party leader unfettered discretion to appoint the interim officials to oversee this process, and thereafter, after the elections, we will embark on a serious grassroots election that will produce the leaders up to the national level. So to that end,
so let me just make sure I understand you. The deputy president and the president function as the party leader and the deputy party leader. And you have asked them to nominate interim officials going up to the 2017 election,
yes,
after which you'll then have substantive elections.
Thank you so much. And to that end, therefore, they have unfettered discretion to determine who will be the chairman, who will be the secretary general, who will hold various positions. Of course, the only rider that the National Steering Committee did give, and which direction they had issued earlier, is that the face must truly have be representative in terms of having the face of Kenya, in terms of representing the various parties that were collapsed into the Jubilee party.
So when will you do grassroots recruitment and grassroots elections to the village level?
Thank you. As I've just stated, immediately after the elections, which we look forward
Which
to...
elections?
The general elections.
The general elections.
Which we look forward to winning. Thereafter, we will embark on a serious grassroots mobilization, and upon successful grassroots mobilization, the party must of necessity conduct elections from the grassroots going upwards up to the national level, so that the officials would have a mandate from the party members.
What's the need doing that after elections? I thought you should do grassroots recruitment now, so that we give the electoral commission party membership and party officials elected by the people. If you are going to do it now, it's hard-breaking. What democracy is that?
The point is this, you don't establish parties simply for purposes of winning elections. Purposes are meant to espouse certain ideas and values to which people are supposed to ascribe to. Step one. So to that end, members must ascribe to those values first before they produce the leaders. But as you may know or not know, the requirement under the Political Parties Act, when you register a new party or a merger comes into force, interim officials must be in place on a temporary or caretaker basis.
Okay. Are you talking, sorry, Udo, are you talking about party mobilization, party member recruitment, exactly?
At what point?
At the grassroots level.
Yes, after the elections, definitely. Presently, as constituted, members of TNA, members of URP, members of the constituent parties that would collapse into the Jubilee party, automatically by the fact of merger, they become members of the Jubilee party. But the party must at some point, as an entity, have its members, because some would opt out, some would opt to stay. So at that point, therefore, after the general elections, bearing in mind our timetable, we would go to the people.
Okay, so it's not been an easy road getting to here. It hasn't been an easy road.
It looks very market to me.
Okay, that's what Mr. He says. And Mr. Oloo has just talked about members. Now, Mr. Keter, you've been quite vocal up until this point about the disadvantages of this merger. How do you feel 3 days away from the launch of the new Jubilee Party?
I had my reservations all the way when we formed the government in 2013. And there were challenges between us and those who were in URP and TNA. And I thought it was not going to be easy to just move into one political outfit with the many challenges that we have come through. And if you remember very well that immediately after we formed government from 2013, I've been very consistent in terms of fighting from within the coalition and trying to fix issues in terms of corruption as a member of parliament, where the oversight responsibility lies as a collective responsibility of parliament, both the National Assembly and Senate. Having seen that, I thought it was not easy for parties to just come together and merge. The reason why I've resorted to supporting Jubilee Alliance. Now
you support the Jubilee.
I support Jubilee Alliance Party.
When did you change your mind?
About a month ago.
About a month ago, so this is a recent conversion.
Yeah. And the reason is I think we are tired of politics where when you ask every Kenyan which party they belong, you will know their ethnic background. It's so easy that way. Or you can start from the ethnic background, then you automatically know the party they belong. But I want to say that in as much as I want to be part of Jubilee Alliance Party, I will not stop fighting from within on issues to do with corruption and bad governance and any other thing like that. I'll be consistent, fighting for the rights of farmers and the rights of every Kenyan. At the moment, Kenyans are really facing a lot of economic challenges. They can't take schools, they can't take children to school.
Okay, we understand all of that. I think we'd like to unpack your political conversion and how it is that you've been consistent about the follies of merging, and then, you know, a month to the launch, you see the light. How? Tell us what
the reason why this coalition delayed for all this time to now. We are marching now. You remember it was to happen when? Long time. This is part of the consultation that has been going on. That is the reason why you see most other governors are coming on board and senators. I think it is important for Kenya to move forward in terms of building up democracies and the democratic space where it is about issue-oriented but not personalities, where political parties are formed to you see, like ANC in South Africa. Despite the fact that they are facing challenges, they lost some election yesterday
municipal
to Democratic Alliance. It is not easy to run a huge political party like Jubilee Alliance Party. It's not easy. And it is not the only reason that it can unite Kenyans. What we should focus as a country and as government, as in the legislative arm of government and those in the executive and judiciary, all of us, we must focus on issues that will unite us. One of the reasons that will really unite us so fast is equitable resource allocation. That is why devolution is key towards unity.
So how exactly does the Jubilee Alliance Party ensure equitable allocation of resources?
When you bring everyone on board, you see the two parties, Jubilee, the two main parties, the major parties,
TNA and URP.
Yeah, we've involved many parties, like the Mbas and many others.
They're about 12.
They are about 12. Most of them are national parties. If you see TNA and URP alone make a huge number in Parliament, both Senate and National Assembly. So if you were to involve many people to come on board, to reason together, to see in terms of how we can improve the lives of Kenyans, I think that platform is so. We needed it by yesterday.
Until you saw the light on the way to Jerusalem or
Damascus.
You are seen as a rebel in Europe and Jubilee, and up to that 1 month ago, if you do not get a nomination to contest whatever seat you want to contest, what are your options?
I have no option but to support whoever wins. I think what we should do is leadership. You should be accepted to be led. And again, you know, there is a perception, a misconception in terms of who is really a rebel, who is a loyalist. You know, loyalists in Kenya, what we have at the moment, the people that are perceived to be loyal, what they call they are loyal, are psychopaths. And those they are called they are rebels are those who have independent mind. They can give a contrary opinion. They can reason. But those, you see, that is where we miss.
Why wouldn't Jubilee want to give you a nomination? Since you've always been rebel, why wouldn't they want to give you?
Jubilee is a party owned by many Kenyans who are in support of it. That is why there were a lot of consultation. I even consulted my constituents and many from my county and many other friends in terms of why we should be in this party and give our president a chance.
Isn't this opportunism? There's a wave, this new Jubilee party, and if you oppose it, you're left out. And this is the best chance for you to remain relevant.
It is not that. You see, you have to weigh options and
you weighed your options.
I weighed options.
Okay.
Look at Kenya. There is no any other coalition.
So you are circumstantially confined into this arrangement. You have weighed your options, and circumstances have made you get confined.
Not about the circumstances, but I've seen what the Jubilee Alliance Party stand for. Unity for Kenyans. It is more important than everything. I want to explain that further. Most other countries, like the success stories of USA and Israel and many other countries, they focus more of unity than any other thing. Once you are united, development will just come straight. You see, these are countries where it is we are divided along ethnic lines, and that is the reason why corruption can just hit on us, and as an evil, we cannot fight it. We can't fight corruption unless we are united as Kenyans first.
How does Jubilee unite Kenya?
It will. They are all over the country at the moment, and if you see, let me tell you, this is a
they, not you, not we.
It will.
1 month is a short time to...
Yeah. If you see the plans that are on board, I can assure you, we are going places as a country.
Okay. Let me just check something. Mr. Oloo, what's the name of the new party?
The name of the new party is JP. Jubilee Party.
Not the Jubilee Alliance Party.
I said Jubilee Party.
No, you said Jubilee
I
Alliance.
can make a correction to that. We are merging into the Jubilee Alliance Party, but also changing the name into Jubilee Party. So as we are talking, he's perfectly right to say the Jubilee Alliance Party. On the 9th, as the delegates, the joint delegates at the convention take a resolution, one of the resolutions that they will take would be to change the name to the Jubilee Party.
Okay. So take us through that again, because you lost me along the way. You merge, you dissolve your parties, you become the Jubilee Alliance Party. And then you dissolve the Jubilee Alliance Party to become the Jubilee Party.
No.
What?
Because it is a legal issue, let me put it in a much clearer way. First, you cannot merge after you have dissolved, because you are not existing. So a resolution will be passed. On the 8th, the various political parties are going to conduct their own special national delegates convention or conferences, where TNA is not going to be mixed with URP. As the Secretary General of as the Secretary General of the National Alliance, for instance, I will take my delegates through the process, and they will give me a resolution to merge with the other parties or into the Jubilee Alliance Party. I expect the other parties to have obtained a similar resolution. So on 9th, now the various Secretary Generals lead their delegates into a joint national delegates convention, where they deposit their resolutions for a merger, and then at that point a joint resolution is taken, now merging the parties into JAP. At the same time, a further resolution for change of names will take place. It is the effect of the merger that will lead to an act of dissolution by the registrar of political parties.
So now, what does Jubilee Alliance Party, as it is now, to be constituted, stand for?
To be constituted?
Yeah. What does it stand for?
Thank you so much. As you probably are aware, I was the chairman of the Legal Affairs Committee. And this is an issue that we had to grapple with very, very seriously, given our politics, given the criticism that has always been belabored upon political parties. That one, they are bereft of ideologies. Two, they are you call it what? Copycats or copy-paste, cut and paste of each other. The Jubilee Alliance Party, as we have constructed it, if you look at our values, we are what you would call a liberal democracy, in the sense that we stand for a free market economy, but we have got strong social interventions, so that in areas such as you saw recently, against all expectations, the President came up to sign the bill on interest rates, when the citizens said, no. Despite us having a free market economy, these people are operating like a cartel. That was a social intervention. Issues to do with women empowerment in terms of funding, youth empowerment, those are social interventions that if you were to look at them in terms of strict ideologies, they would stand for socialist phrases or socialist tendencies. So we are a liberal democracy, but with strong social interventions to ameliorate the harshness that would always accompany the strict capitalist ideology in operation. One. Two, as a party, we have made it clear that we want to stand for the unity of the people of Kenya. That our politics, especially from colonialism, has always been defined through ethnicity, through divide and rule, and this was never helped by the immediate post-colonial government and the succeeding governments. We are saying we cannot run away from our ethnicity. We must look it in the eye, and we must debate it in the same house, in the same room, without saying those ones, they belong to the other party, they are of that other tribe. So we are saying we are cutting across, and that we want everyone to come in, unite this country. People have always tried to argue, or some say that we have formed the Jubilee coalition or the Jubilee party to win the government. I want to clarify this to our viewers. We won the government without the Jubilee party. We have not formed this party to win the government. We are capable of winning this government as TNA and URP. The President and his deputy have committed to not only leaving a strong economic legacy, but a political legacy of a united country that goes beyond the ethnic and tribal divides that characterize us. More importantly, among the values, if I don't spell them out, we are committed to the gender empowerment and the environmental protection as a value. We do reckon that the environment is not ours to hand over to future generations.
Okay, we'll allow you to picture in a minute. Sorry,
I want
go ahead.
I want to ask about the merger itself.
Yes.
So there are 13 political parties that are going to merge.
Yes.
Some of them have challenges.
So can I just get the number of parties right? Because we hear 12, 13, 14.
Presently, 13 had expressed the desire to merge.
Yes.
Okay? We have 2 that are having challenges.
That's what I want to.
That is where it's going. That is why I let it go.
Yes. What are you going to do about it? Because some of them have said we will not merge. The Secretary General has done it unilaterally, or the chairman, and some have gone to court and say no, we are not merging. I think one of them is DP, the Democratic Party.
One has actually gone to the arbitration, political party.
Yes, the political party arbitration.
4 people.
Yes.
Thank you. So, you know that political parties are not individual business empires. These parties belong to the people. They belong to the members. And they are operated on the basis of the constitutions that form them. In any constitution of a political party, and I know for sure this is a requirement, there is a procedure for merger. So when the NEC, for instance, of the National Executive Committee has made a recommendation or a proposal for merger, it is presented to the National Delegates Convention, which is what we are now going to do. At that point, I want you to look at it this way. The purpose for the National Delegates Convention is to secure the resolution of the delegates to merge. But a few may say we do not want it. Now the law is clear. If there are more than 30%, for instance in TNA, who are opposed to the merger, then a resolution will not go through. So, but even if there are 100 people or 20 people and they do not meet that benchmark, the constitution is clear, the merger process will go on. So to answer your question in brief, was the constitutional requirements met? Otherwise, 1 or 2 or even 10 people complaining is simply a perfect way of expressing their democratic rights.
But some have said some delegates are fake. What is the way of legitimate
with the delegates?
Yeah, what is the way to know who is a delegate, who is not?
Now,
in the absence of membership, recruitment, who knows who is a delegate? Who chooses them?
Thank you. I want to presume that for this you are asking me as the Secretary General of the National Alliance.
No, but other parties.
I will answer you also in the other parties.
Other parties.
Generally, every party has a way through which it defines the national delegates that takes a resolution on important issues, such as mergers or changes of name or changes of officials. For the National Alliance, for instance, who are my delegates? Who is entitled to come and vote? 1, the members of parliament by the constitution of the National Alliance are automatic delegates. My members of county assemblies are automatic delegates. The governors and their deputies are automatic delegates. Then for each county, I have 20 members who are delegates. How are these people arrived at? 1, the chairman, the secretary general, the secretary, the treasurer, and the organizing secretary, and their deputies. Those are 8. Plus 12 committee members, we call them secretaries in the National Alliance, bringing it to 20. These are the delegates, and they know themselves. And for TNA, we did elect them in between the month of August and October 2012, immediately upon the launch of the party on 20th May 2012. So, barring situations where someone died, someone defected to the other party, those are the delegates. And where someone died or defected, in the absence of a resolution properly and duly minuted by the branch, there will be no representation or replacement for that person.
Who is a member of TNA?
A member of TNA?
Yes.
Is he who paid 20 shillings to be a member in 2012. And for your information,
from 2012 to today?
Yes. You have cut me short.
Yeah,
those who paid 20 shillings in 2012,
yes,
and we have a register with the Register of Political Parties. Then if you remember, and the last time I came here, I did explain this. The TNA has an active digital platform through which people would renew their membership, isn't it? So as we are talking to you, actually, the whole of yesterday night and the night before, we have been pushing even the names of our delegates to the registrar to confirm that these people are still our members, they have not defected to the other parties. And a few have come back to us that those are no longer our members. And so we asked them, can you come and clarify?
So 2012 and 2016, are you getting new members?
Of course, I've told you we have an active digital
I wanted to say something about what we see in most of these political parties. I think there are about 3 or 4 who are really complaining about whether to be part of this merger or out. In 4 people, PLO, DP, I think about 4 or 5 parties. That is part of the reasons why this grand merger is long overdue. We have had parties where
not because of rebel brothers like you?
Individuals own parties. You don't even understand where the offices are. It is in someone's house or wherever, and they want to believe that they are national parties. It is high time we kill all these parties so that we stabilize. We come into serious parties.
Did you say it is high time we kill all these parties?
He did.
Not just killing, like you call on a ceremony to do it, but such ideologies of someone having a previous party, where you wait for elections so that you can sell certificates to whoever wants to run.
That's what's going to happen.
Most of these parties aim at the elections. They don't exist between election time up to the next election.
More than 50 of them.
They just wait up to 1 month or 2 months.
I would like to know from Onyango, this doesn't appear to be anything new, the dissolution of smaller parties and staff.
Can I ask that we take a break now so that we can deal with that matter substantively? This is Cheche. We're live on Citizen TV, counting down to the launch of the new Jubilee Party. Will it really change politics in Kenya? Tell us what you think. Our hashtag on Twitter is Cheche.